The Cancer Registry is really the cornerstone of the Cancer Institute. It underpins all the work that we do here.
That information is all incredibly useful because the whole point of what we do is to try and look at cancer control and see if things are improving in the community.
And so it's really essential as a way of telling us not only what the problem is and therefore giving us guidance on what to do about it, but also how we're going in controlling the problem.
Our data has always been considered very good quality, and it was included in cancer incidents in 5 continents.
The Central Cancer Registry was the first population-based registry in Australia, and it's now being combined with the clinical cancer registries for a world's first to bring together the population information with treatment information.
It will allow us to have a full view of a patient's cancer treatment journey from start to finish. It's phenomenal, the strength of that data. It will allow us to look at variations in cancer treatment, and it will allow us to look at outcomes and determine if those treatments are appropriate for a particular cancer. There's a really good team of people working here and they're very supportive. I really enjoyed it. The moment I started working here, I really enjoyed it. Not to mention we're located in a really lovely location as well.
What happens is every day we get a bag of mail. That mail is just everyday mail for the registry, but it also contains letters from doctors and notifications from notifiers. Every day that's opened up by the Cancer Registry staff who then sort through it, and once it's scanned, then the data entry clerks actually data enter that information, and then the coders will read that information, all the pathology reports, and code all the relevant notifications.
The Cancer Registry was established in 1971 by Dr. Joyce Ford.
Joyce Ford started the registry. She had good relationships with notifiers. She set up notification forms. She also introduced mandatory notification of pathology reports.
That hard work that she and the team that she brought around her in the early days that they did really has been absolutely foundational and critical to the success of the registry, and has given us the longest collection of population-based data on cancer of any in Australia.
Professor Richard Taylor, who came after Joyce Ford, he introduced electronic notification from hospitals.
Noreen Panos, absolutely passionate about what she did and insistent on getting it right.
Another person would be Maria Arcarache. She was the coding manager when I started, and she really is the corner piece, I guess, the glue of the registry. Someone whose experience and knowledge of the Cancer Registry, how it works and how it should work, has been a great strength to the ongoing operations of the Cancer Registry.
Professor Bruce Armstrong brought his strengths and vision for the Cancer Registry, and he did an awful lot to improve it.
Bruce was the director of the registry and also established the Cancer Epidemiology Research Unit. So it was then that a lot of the serious research work and large cohort studies were started, and a lot of those continue to go on to this day. Marilyn Coates would be one person who inspires me. She was instrumental in establishing all of the business rules within the registry, the quality assurance processes.
Marilyn was the biostatistician to the Cancer Registry. She really became the person who knew more, I believe, than anybody else about the Cancer Registry. Terribly important in building the strength that we now have in the Cancer Registry.
There were many staff that really held the registry in high esteem and wanted to see it continue. Well, when I came to the registry in 1985, it was purely a paper system. I was amazed at the amount of paper that was there when I went, and each year you needed more cabinets to store more paper. It was a dream of Dr. Ford and many other people that we would be the first registry to be computerised out of the registries in Australia, and we were the first. In those days, funding was really lacking for the Cancer Registry. I had to beg, borrow and steal desks from Northern Area Health Service. We turned the toilets, for example, into filing rooms because we'd run out of space for the filing cabinets. When we moved to the Cancer Council in later years, we had all this odd hodgepodge of furniture that nothing matched, and they had this lovely new office. As one person commented, it's like going from David Jones down to Kmart when we come down to see you.
We were in the basement of the Cancer Council. We had a very large compactus which had all the paper notifications going back 30 years. We used to have to get that sprayed once a year for paper lice because otherwise we'd all get eaten alive. There has been big changes. It was a big move moving from the Cancer Council. Gradually we've become much more sort of paperless, and the staff have got better computers, and the rates of pay were assessed. Now the Cancer Registry is actually part of a wider group which includes cancer services. So I think the biggest change is the fact that all the staff are much more integrated, and there's much more of an understanding that what they do and contribute has wider implications for the Institute as a whole.
Along the way, through the years, we've had lots of social activities, and the registry was always involved in them.
Often there'd be a theme to the Christmas party, and that meant everyone would dress up, and there'd be a bit of a performance that various groups would put together. I think I only ever joined that kind of activity as a performer on one occasion, in which I did a solo performance. I was just amazed at how one could get into the spirit of it and be someone quite different to my normal self.
The registry staff are really renowned for their baking ability and for their fabulous morning teas.
I was shocked when they told me that if it's your birthday you need to bring in a cake and celebrate, and I was like, well, what happens if you don't bake? I've learnt to bake. I felt I had to, just to keep up the standard. And it's a very high standard.
The friendships that I made in the registry when I started all those years ago, I still have today. It was like a family. People looked out for each other, and they still do today. They were just a wonderful bunch of people to work with.
A lot of the staff have been here for 30 years, even longer.
It's a really fantastic place to work. We can see how our work impacts on the patient. It's great coming to work every day and being with people who really want to make a difference and have the same values.
Public health affects everybody, and so it's hard not to get wrapped up in that and get engaged with it. And even the people that I work with in the clinical cancer registries, they're so driven and passionate as well. I'm just so excited about the challenge that lies ahead. I'm so excited about us all becoming one big united team, because it hasn't been done previously. We're going to do it now, and I think it's going to make such a difference to cancer in New South Wales.